I've kept you waiting long enough, but we are back with some My Team, and we are here for the Japanese Grand Prix at Suzuka, an all-time classic on the F1 calendar, and yeah, a super popular racetrack. We are fresh off the back of round 2, guys, the Chinese Grand Prix, a sprint weekend, link in the top right.
Have you got a moment? Need your input.
Now, spoiler warning, that is your chance to go watch the previous episode as we delve into a corporate facility event. We have a fan simulator experience, which, if we accept, we take a 50k cash hit to try and hopefully improve, things a little bit. But I looked at the decline option, no visible negative feedback, but to be fair, cash isn't an issue right now, so I went ahead and accepted it. Now, we begin with some early talks with Carlos Sainz for next season. We're not even 3 rounds in yet out of 24, so a lot can happen, a lot still can happen, but for now, preliminary discussions and getting the ball rolling. So engineering workforce 326, fan rating level 7, and vehicle performance ranking level 3. We're currently only succeeding in engineering workforce. Our fan rating is 5, and the vehicle performance ranking, I believe, is 5th. So either way, Sainz was fairly positive. The percentage was around the high to mid 70%. So yeah, into activities, we begin by applying training point or owner training point activity pending from the last episode. We also are going to move into engineering. We're going to do a event which is development focus long, which again makes developments cheaper, not research, developments. Also, exclusive merchandise launch. We're going to get that on straight away because that will bring in a bit of cash and some fan rating, and also improve our title sponsor loyalty. And we do a advertising campaign to also improve title sponsor loyalty and fan rating. So with those done, we delve into today's updates, and we have some chassis upgrades. Now, we've received both cockpit weight reduction and also the single cable assembly that was pending. We're now going to do some roll dampers, which we're going to dual develop, which will arrive in time for the race, and the master cylinder. So hopefully we can finalize all these pending chassis upgrades that we lost from the last season in the regulation change and get those on the car for this weekend's race. So with that done, we're going to delve into facility improvements, and we're going to do the automated testing suite, which basically reduces the chance of failure, which is going to help in terms of upgrades. But in this case, it's going to focus on the rushed upgrades. So when we, choose to rush one, there's a 10% less chance it will fail. And I'm also now doing 3 facility improvements at the same time, not just in engineering, also in personnel as we do the contract negotiation, legal stuff, and also in corporate, which we're going to go ahead and do sponsor negotiation team, which is also going to help a little bit as well. So 3 facility improvements across all 3 departments, and yeah, we're getting very close now to finishing and maxing out all these facility improvements in this entire career mode.
Unfortunately, one of the parts failed during development. We'll need to revisit the development area and give it another go.
Now, we'll address that in a bit in terms of the failed part, but we now have early discussions with Pierre Gasly. So let's see what his terms are relative to Carlos Sainz. Now, engineering workforce is actually almost identical. He wants 2 more staff, so it's very close between the 2. Fan rating is also level 7, but he wants 4th in the vehicle performance ranking, so a bit more lenient, hence why his percentage is a little bit higher than Carlos Sainz at 78%. So yeah, fine, no big deal. Again, only early talks, early discussions, and we'll see what happens over the season and over the next few rounds. In the meantime, we keep on moving ahead, getting closer to the next race, getting through the admin work, and we do have a lot of upgrades to address and also some failures to fix.
Have you got a moment? Need your input.
Now, before we get to those failures, we have another corporate facility department event, and we're going to see what this is. It's not actually in response or a fallout from the previous one. This one's a fan giveaway, and we have a large investment or a small investment, 75 or 25k depending on what we prefer. I spent 50k on the previous event, so we'll go for the small investment and spend 25 on this one. We're going to return back to the menu and once again move ahead.
Hey Chief, we have a part or 2 ready for development because they finished research. Let's get that in motion, shall we? Head to engineering for more info.
Right, let's get to it then. So, corporate, we have received audience engagement media blitz, which we just recently got. So we're going to go ahead and put a third facility improvement back on. And for this one, we're going to go for the same one, but level 2. Receive 100k each time you win a race, which could happen this season if things continue to go in the way they're going. Engineering, we receive research expansion for chassis and powertrain, so not super relevant because we don't have anything to currently research as we have maxed out, but when those become available we can do them. In the meantime, we're going to do reg analysis team to reduce the cost of adapting parts by 30% if there were to be a reg change this season, and we're going to do improved computer systems to hopefully generate 8% more resource points each week in terms of our engineering team. So with those done, we're going to delve into those developments that are pending. Now we go to the chassis and we receive 5 upgrades. Now of course we split those between both cars, so both cars are going to receive a pair of updates, but only one of them will get 3 because one of the tyre blankets has failed. So unfortunately one car will be an upgrade short, and the car that's going to be short is us, Carlos Sainz, who we are driving with this weekend. So we apply the upgrade to Pierre Gasly, and of course he's going to be the AI driver for this one, and that is going to pretty much conclude all of the admin work for this episode, as we can now jump into the weekend's action. So selecting Carlos Sainz, who is 95 rated, also 100 racecraft by the way, also Pierre looking very well rounded. In terms of the weather, no rain forecast, which is very nice. And then in terms of the championship, Carlos Sainz P4 this weekend, and we are controlling him, so we've got a chance of hopefully moving up. Pierre Gasly P8, equal on points to Charles Leclerc. Both drivers split by only 6 points, so there's a really tight gap there from P4 to P9. Anyway, we begin with practice, and there's going to be a slight format change here, guys. Because we have no upgrades to research, we have no need for R&D points right now, so we're only going to be doing the race simulations. And in this one we did all 5 laps with no dramas. We picked up a flawless score. Tyre wear looked very, very good. Fuel burn 46.5 kg for the race is what is expected. And yeah, pace wise we actually got quicker, then kind of fell away with some traffic a little bit here and there, but generally we held fairly consistent pace and keeping the tyre wear low. And also I didn't struggle with tyre temps on the medium, so that's a good sign. Pierre finishes P7 and we finish P9 with Carlos Leclerc setting the pace out front. So that was practice, and yeah, that's going to also reduce R&D points total. You can see we've got 12k in the bank and we're not upgrading right now, so it's completely irrelevant. We're just doing it to basically get the data for the race, so we have the most accurate race setup possible, and also crucially I'd say fuel and tyre simulation.
A warm welcome, everybody, from a venue that has seen plenty of sensational laps over the years. Remember, Verstappen in 23, Vettel in 2019, some phenomenal pole laps. But whose will it be today?
Right, now seriously, onto on-track action. Practice was so short, you blink and miss it. We're now going to jump into qualifying, and we begin with a bit of a moment through the second Degner as we catch a bit of oversteer. Now making our way through into sector 3 and into the final chicane, the Casio Triangle. Looking to try and hopefully get a decent banker under our belt early on here. Out the last corner we go, using battery to the line, and we're going to set a 124.1 and go P3, albeit over a second behind Charles Leclerc in P1, which was a bit of an eyebrow-raising moment. Anyway, we're going to jump into our next lap in this session. Now, we are already up down the pit straight using a bit more battery as we had some left over on the previous run. We now throw the car into the S's, and I can't lie, guys, our car is basically maxed out, and it's so good, so satisfying just sending it through the S's. The car just does exactly what you want it to do, and it's super responsive. And we're 2/10 up in the first sector. Into the Degners we go, and this of course is where the mistake was last time. We once again have to catch some oversteer, but it's nowhere near as bad as before, and we do find some time, and also we find a bit more through this hairpin as we get a brilliant exit, and we're now half a second up. We do encounter Verstappen and Paul Aron, a bit of traffic through 130R, but luckily they get out of the way, and we are now just going to look to try and close out the lap, cutting these curbs at the chicane, and we're going to find 7/10 on this second attempt, a really big improvement, and we do a 123.4, and that gets us in the postcode of Charles Leclerc in the correct conversation. Now, no dramas. Pierre, to be fair, a very low-key P12 and a 125.0. But the big one to note there, if you look on screen, Lando Norris with a 5-place grid drop in P6 for the race. That could be huge. As we delve into Q2, fresh set of boots on our car, looking to go again and try and step up the pace. But Pierre Gasly does a 122.9, which is 2.1 seconds quicker than what he did in Q1. And he goes top of the times. So in the meantime, we actually invalidate. This was a really good lap, by the way, but we invalidate a spoon. The lap genuinely felt really, really good, but that was a costly error. Now, I kept on pushing, even though it's invalid, to basically see what the lap would have been, and also we can have this delta for when we try again. So we did do a 123.5, so we're going to have that delta as a reference. So here we go. Beginning the second lap, we did a cool down lap, and then we pushed again. Same fuel and run plan as Q1. So lap, cool off, second lap, trying to do better on the second run. Last time we found 7/10. This time I don't think we're going to find as much, because the lap before was really, really good, except for the mistake. Through the S's, trying to push some more and find some more lap time. We do actually go up by 1/10 and a bit, so surprising myself a little bit as we cross the first sector split. Now into the Degners. The first one's flat out. Second one, a little bit of a correction on the steering inputs on the way in, so we lose a little bit of time. Then into the hairpin, we try to hook, use the camber, and then open it up on the way out, but we actually lose some time to the point where we're basically level with the lap we were on just a moment ago. I use a bit more battery, so we find a few milliseconds heading into spoon. I do run a bit wide there though, just kind of getting some understeer. Luckily though, we don't lose, and actually we still manage to gain a little bit of time, and we are 1/10 up in sector 2, so this lap's looking better than the one before. Now then, we've got to tackle the chicane. For this one, we're going to try and brake just after the 100, down to 4th gear. We unfortunately don't cut the curb at the right angle, and we actually get pushed wide, so we lose time. As a result, that first apex cost us, and we go P5 on a 123.4. But Pierre Gasly with that 122.9 is still P1, so fair play. Absolutely insane lap. I have no idea where that came from, and even more importantly, and more to the point, I don't know where that came from, Verstappen also has a 5-place grid drop. Now, I don't know as when we got blocked at 130R, but something else might have happened. Who knows? Either way, Verstappen and Norris are going back 5 spots for the race. That could be a huge, huge factor. Anyway, into Q3, we begin our final qualifying runs, and we're going to start out with a fresh set of tyres on this banker. Now, into the S's. Honestly, these two are flat. This one is pretty much flat, but I'm taking like micro lifts to try and rotate the car a little bit and make the car a bit more agile. Gasly has only done a P9 lap, so it hasn't been the best lap in this one, so his inconsistency continues. Through the Degners though, we're looking to try and do well, and this is the best we've done so far through there. Very tidy through both. Into the hairpin, 3rd gear, trying to hook that bit of camber on the inside, and then just get the power down as soon as possible on the way out. We now prepare for spoon curve, taking a very tight line here to minimise distance. Into spoon at the 50, down to 7th and then 6th and then 5th. You work your way down gradually on the gears. Important to really set up the exit here and try and do spoon in one sweeping turning movement. Now towards 130R, this one is easy flat, and you're looking for the 100 meter board or the Pirelli board above. Somewhere in between those two is your braking point. 4th gear, this time we cut the curb really nicely on the inside of the first apex, and the second follows, and now we just stay tight to the line as we cross the start finish, and we do a 122.9 of our own, so we go half a second quicker than our Q2 lap time, which was my PB, and we match what Pierre did in that session. So that might be the pace of the car. Verstappen's done a 22.4. Either way, we're going to send it on this last one. I don't know how much time there is, but we're going to give it a shot and see what we can do.
tomorrow.
Exactly that. Let's do it in the race and let's see if we can hopefully do even better. P5 though in qualifying, Pierre unfortunately finishes P10 with a 1:23.5, and the irony is I believe his Q2 time would have given him P6. So that's a real shame. A really big shame. It could have been a all third row for the Cadillac team. Instead, he's P10. The good news, with Norris and Verstappen's grid drops, Carlos Sainz will start from P3. So we're going to move up, and that is very exciting. It doesn't affect Pierre, but at least one of our cars does move up. So Leclerc will be on pole, Tsunoda on home turf on the front row, and Carlos Sainz P3. Pierre Gasly starts from P10. So the race is poised. So let's get into it, and let's see how things go.
No fewer than 12 world champions have been crowned at Suzuka, but who will be tasting glory today at the checkered flag? We're approaching lights out, and we can't wait for the Japanese Grand Prix. A lap of this historic racetrack covers 3.6 miles. It's the only time during the season that we race on a figure-of-8 circuit. And the drivers can expect some intense G-forces through the 18 corners on offer here as they experience some of the highest average apex speeds on the Formula One calendar. Keep an eye out for overtakes into the final chicane. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole. And Yuki Tsunoda completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Verstappen, Alex Albon and Piastri, Norris, Antonelli, Gasly and Isaac Hadjar, Ocon, Stroll, Franco Colapinto, Doohan, Lawson, Russell, Ollie Behrman and Jack Crawford, Pepe Marti, Aaron, Helga and Gabriel Bortoletto rounds off the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track. Well, it's been a long time since I last worked with you. Good to see you again today, Anthony Davidson. So it's a 50th appearance for our new team. They've reached the half century, and I suppose sooner or later, we've got to stop calling them the new team.
That's right, Crofty. Now they've got more than 2 seasons under the belt in Formula One, and yes, there are more teams out there with a lot more experience than them, but they can take this energy now and continue on this path. Great stuff from them.
Right, here we go then. It's game time at Japan. As confirmed before, we start P3. The grid drops have taken effect, and we have a genuine shot at a podium, potentially even a race win. Leclerc has been very quick all weekend though, so he's going to be tough to beat. But our car seems to be working good, and I'm hoping also Pierre could move up as well and at least beat the Mercedes cars. That would be pretty sweet. Anyway, I don't know what to expect. It should be fun. The strategy, though, is pretty straightforward. Medium to hard. I don't expect any dramas or anything complicated. The AI might go soft medium, potentially, but I don't expect that to be the case. If this is what's been, set to default, then that will be the case. I've applied the correct adjustments for, a personalized strat plus fuel, so we're ready to go. No rain forecast, so let's get to work. Well, getting tyre temp has been a bit of a challenge in this one, so I'm expecting we might be on the back foot. As I mentioned, I wouldn't be surprised if we did see a soft tyre runner, and that is going to be the pole man, Charles Leclerc. So he's probably looking to just try and launch it and get away with it. So let's see. This should be a fun one. Intense, but fun. And I can't wait. Let's get to it. Here we go then. It's showtime at Japan. Quick 5 lights. My revs did drop a little bit. I was a little low. We do cut off Verstappen right away. Trying to go around the outside of Yuki, but he was having none of it. Leclerc holds the lead after not his best start in the world. We're going to get a whole bucket load of dirty air through here. So I expect a struggle, especially versus the AI. But the key thing here is going to be just staying within DRS. For some reason, even though there's only one DRS zone, it feels very important around this track. Like, you can lose 3-4 tenths down that pitch straight if you don't have DRS. We've got a yellow further behind, and it's a Mercedes, I think, that's gone off. My guess is you've got to run out of road. Either way, our focus is on Tsunoda here. As I was saying, the DRS for some reason is very important, so critical that we try and stick with them right now. that Merc has got running, so no safety car VSC. We've returned to racing conditions with no further dramas. So let's see what my straight line speed looks like. We know the Red Bull isn't super quick on the straight. That Ford power unit so far this season hasn't been the best. We are dropping Verstappen here. Albon looking racy in P5, but let's see as the race starts to open up a little bit. We need DRS this time, next lap, next time around, so quite a way to go yet.
Okay, DRS is now available.
Well, I've used quite a bit of battery, so we're going to try and save a little bit now and get ready to use later on. Right, really good lap so far. But we might struggle to stick with Tsunoda here. I'm using battery. And no, actually, we are catching. We're dropping Verstappen, so we're going to drop Verstappen out of DRS range. And we are going to be within 1 second of Yuki Tsunoda here. So that has worked out near enough to perfection. We'll see if we can actually drop Verstappen. That's easier said than done. Leclerc setting the pace 25.9. But we're right there with the pace right now. Albon can't keep up in P5, so that will be the big battle. As I say that, Piastri moves up. I'm expecting those guys to scrap a bit more, but this is the breakaway today. Right, Tsunoda's been dropped by Leclerc, so he'll no longer have DRS. So suddenly, things are shifting in our favour. Important that we try and get this done soon, because I'm sure Leclerc's softs will start to fade, and that could give us an opportunity to have first crack at the Monegasque to try and get P1. So let's see. Piastri though setting the pace in the Ferrari further back. Ooh, bombed out there, that wasn't good. Suddenly, that puts me under pressure from Verstappen instead, who is lurking. Piastri's also closing in, so he's continuing his red hot form. I think we can get Tsunoda here though. I was building up to a full charge. I've had to use a little bit more than I would have liked. Just trying to recover from that little moment at the second Degner, but we're here. Also, this is the first lap where Tsunoda started to catch back up to Leclerc, so I think the softs are beginning to fade. So we're going to use a bit more battery here to close in, and we're going to try and set up this little, you know, slingshot, say, down the pit straight on Yuki, but oh my god, the minute I hit dirty air, I just locked the front. Not ideal. Not ideal at all. Verstappen's going to be right there. We're going to have to hope we can compete. We know the Ford isn't great, so we can probably hold our own. We're going to have to delay this overtake by a lap. Struggling with the braking. I am running some different wheel settings today, which I'm trialing, and the brake is very sensitive. I want to try a different approach here, but I just don't think it's possible. I wanted to try and see if I could get this moved on into the chicane, but I lose too much through spoon that I can't quite close in through here enough. I just run out of straight. Although this time we do manage to get our braking sorted out quite nicely, so I think actually we may well go through here on this one. That's my best chicane. Let's try and use this and cash in. Only just enough room on the outside, but through we go into second place. Bit of clean air as we get a warning. That looked a bit marginal, but all good. Let's see what sort of pace we have. Well, Tsunoda's right here and closing in, so I don't think we're going to be able to drop anybody or pull away. Leclerc also opened up the gap on this lap, so we don't quite have the pace, at least not at this stage, in clean air to defend and hold our own, so that's all good. Hopefully the hard tire will serve us better, but Verstappen here is a threat. Got to use some battery to make sure we do not get overtaken by both Red Bulls. Let's stay here in the sandwich and wait for the pit phase. Leclerc's picked his pace up again, so he's gone now. The gap has grown quite a bit. Oh, Lawson's out.
We're approaching the pit window now, and you're going to be on hards next time.
No safety car though, that would have been interesting in and around this pit phase. Also, we're just dropping Verstappen, who's potentially half battling with Piastri. Tsunoda's setting a very strong pace right now, and I'm only just hanging on. Tyres are not overheating, so that's really good. But I do have a bit of tyre wear, and I'm starting to struggle now for pace. So I am looking forward to that hard compound tyre to see if it helps us a little bit, just to have a bit better tyre wear throughout the stint. Oh, we might lose DRS here. Gap has just gone over a second. I don't have a ton of battery. He's still pulling away from me. I'll use everything. Don't know if it'll be enough. We're so close to the pit now that we've done a good job to hang in there. I don't think I've got it though. No, I don't. Leclerc pits.
Okay, the pit window's open, so let's box this lap. Box this lap.
I'd rather Verstappen not pass, and he doesn't, so we use everything. So Leclerc will go soft medium. So the wind's looking like it's his today. So we're fighting for this P2. I expect Verstappen in this lap with me, so we're still going to get a chance to basically undercut Tsunoda here. So we're racing Max for the second place today.
Don't forget, box this lap.
Yep, we're ready. Right, Tsunoda will crack on for another lap. Verstappen will box with us, and I expect Piastri to also box with us. So there it is. Red Bull giving preference to their main man on strategy, but that gives us also an advantage over them as a team. In we go. We need a good stop today. This has to be good. And it is 2.4 on the money. We do not get held. So that's exactly what we needed today, because that could have cost us versus Piastri and Verstappen and Tsunoda. Luckily, it's all worked out well, and we're going to maintain our position over Max. Here we go.
Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
We've actually got a little bit of a margin over Verstappen here. We've dropped about DRS range. Our pit crew working well. Piastri with a slow stop with the Ferrari pit crew. So we have actually gained out of all of that. The gap to Leclerc is more or less what it was, so we didn't lose much to him. But now we're trying to undercut Yuki. So straight to work. On the pace straight away. We've got a decent little gap over Max. So let's try and keep it there for as long as possible, because this is a net P2 right now if this undercut works out over Yuki Tsunoda. Ideal scenario here is that we undercut, Tsunoda rejoins behind and potentially into Max, and those two have a scrap and lose even more time.
Pierre is in the pits.
A little bit of a lock up there, that wasn't ideal. Just nicked the front into the chicane, lost some time there. Right, everybody's in. Where is Tsunoda? That's the big question. There he is, we're well ahead. And so is Verstappen. So the undercut pays dividends. And we're into P2. Right, if we can bring this home, this would be a huge result. For the championship already at this stage, it would really move us up, especially with Norris out of position, of course, the championship leader. Piastri through on Tsunoda. Hopefully they battle a little bit. That way we can at least lock in a podium finish. Second warning, gotta be careful now. I am pushing. Verstappen's quicker than me there right now. I don't have an answer. We'll just try and keep him behind us for as long as possible, really. This is all I've got pace-wise. 26.1 without DRS. That's an insane lap for me. Can't do anything more than that. Piastri's not catching, which is good. Tsunoda's been dropped. So our pace relative to Yuki is better than the first stint. We're pulling away, but this is all we've got right now. We're not winning. Just trying to keep Verstappen at bay. At the minute, he can't get close enough to pass, and we're also able to charge enough to keep him behind. So it's in our hands, and we're managing it really well at the moment. Well, a little bit of DRS here, we're not going to miss, but I don't think we're going to get it. I'll take a slipstream though in the meantime. There we go, lovely stuff. This is the closest Verstappen's been because of that. So let's see what we can do here. Good exit from Max. I will try and defend. Even a car in the middle of the track, nice and early. There we go. Good defense. Oh, that's a big one. That is not good. I'm hoping I can get DRS here from this car ahead. I'm using battery on purpose to make sure I'm within a second of Jack Crawford. So we're just going to make sure we set up the exit here nice and tidy, and we should be able to defend from Max. If I make no mistakes, I can actually beat him, I think. I think I can finish ahead of him, but I've got to try and not make any mistakes. So we'll stay ahead for this one and continue on our way. We're catching Leclerc here. Not sure why. Oh, Leclerc's having a bit of trouble there with lap traffic. He has lost quite a bit of time in the last few laps. Not sure if that's all traffic related, but He's not a million miles away here. He's got more traffic to get through still. Right, Leclerc's lost even more time through Spoon. I'm hoping to nab DRS off the back of Jack Doohan here. I think we're just a bit too far back. I'm about to find out. If we can pass both of these cars on this straight, that would go a long way to help our race. Oh, we didn't get DRS, that's a real shame. If we'd got DRS there, it might have just been game on. Still, we'll clear Doohan here. Verstappen might not clear him, we'll see. But Leclerc's right there. He has been quicker though, so we'll see if I can try and do something, but unlikely. Just hoping we can clear this Haas at the right point, at the right time. Ollie Behrman. Open up the line, please. Open up the line. Thank you. That might just hurt Verstappen. I think he lost time with Doohan. He's going to lose even more with Behrman, so that might just get Verstappen off the back of us. And we can just try and bring this home. Potentially even try and challenge Leclerc here. Verstappen's pushing. I'm just going to use battery to make sure we keep him at a DRS range here, which we do. I don't think we're going to win, but P2 is going to be a very nice result. Right, just using everything here to make sure we stay ahead of Max, which I think we will. He's closing though, so just got to keep it tidy. Leclerc will win today. But we had a very strong second stint on this hard tyre. Very competitive pace. Verstappen barely challenged us. And there we go, podium finish. We'll take it.
Yes, and that's a podium. Excellent drive. The whole team have worked especially hard this weekend, and that, my friend, is a fantastic reward. Well done.
And Leclerc to the line, to the checkered flag. It's King Charles today. He wins.
Well, a brilliant race for them today, Crofty, as you could clearly see out there. They were really at one with the car. And as a driver, you take comfort from the fact that you can win in a new set of regulations. And moving forward, you're going to see that confidence rise more and more. Brilliant stuff today by them.
It's time for our podium celebrations. And as ever in Formula One, 3 is the magic number. And that is a fabulous win. And the top step of the podium for Charles Leclerc.
So there we have it, results confirmed, and actually it's a bloody good day at the office because we don't just get a podium with Carlos Sainz. Pierre Gasly recovers from P9 to P6. Genuinely really good, really impressive from both cars today. So we will take that. Antonelli with the fastest lap, to be fair. Norris, Antonelli, both McLarens on a 2-stop, so that might signal towards them having tyre wear troubles, which is something to mark down for the season to come. Anyway, Leclerc wins, Verstappen third, and Sainz splits the pair. So let's see what that means for the standings after 3 rounds. So Piastri is your new championship leader. Verstappen up to second, Norris drops from second to third, I believe, and Leclerc... Oh, sorry, no, Norris drops from first to third, actually, and Leclerc P4 for now. With that win, does move up a little bit. We are right behind in P5, and Gasly P8, ahead of Antonelli and Russell, just behind Albon, Tsunoda. But yeah, it's looking very good, guys. Really encouraging, and I can't wait to see what's next. In the Constructors, we're P4, only 5 points behind McLaren and 15 points behind Red Bull. Ferrari have an early lead, but to be fair, again, it's very close, it's very competitive, so I can't wait, guys, and we go again next time out. If you enjoyed the episode, I'd appreciate a like. Let's try and smash over 1,000 likes on this one, guys, and yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. As always, subscribe for more. I do try and put out daily content, related F1 content anyways. Crew mode now isn't so much daily, trying to enjoy that a bit more and not kind of burn through it as quickly. And yeah, as always, a massive shout out to my channel members. Check out the 2 videos on screen, mods linked down below at the bottom of the description. I'll see you guys soon. Take care, and that's goodbye from me. Ciao.